Many of my newsletter subscribers send in questions that they have, topics that they're wondering about. And so this week, I'm going to channel on many of these questions to really get the Druids' ideas and concepts of what it is all about. What is their perspective or what is their take on some of these topics? So, the topic for this week is going to be on signs, symbols, and synchronicities. So, this is about what we connect with every time in our life. What is showing up many times? What is a symbol? What is a sign? What are those synchronicities that are continuing to happen? And so, with this, it is going to really allow for us to really have a better understanding, hopefully, from the Druid perspective of what each of these mean for us and how we can recognize them, utilize them, and then lean into them every day in our life to maybe be more connected, to get messages, and to know either we're on the right path or maybe we need to make a few adjustments. There are many things that each one of you connect in with, that each one of you really see on a daily basis. And you might see it as a sign, you might see it as a symbol, you may connect with it or you may not, but know there are things all around you. The things that most people recognize are the consistency of a repeating number. Say you constantly see 222 or 444 or 888 or any number that is constantly repeating. That is something that people will say, hey, I saw that number again. I know the meaning. I'm ready to lean into that. I'm ready to be part of that. And then there are those things that you connect with to a loved one who has passed. Say, for instance, you constantly see a butterfly and you go, that is my mother that has passed, or that is my grandfather that has passed. You see that and you know. For others, it can be other things. It could be a penny. It could be a scent you get. It could be a TV show that comes on or a song that comes on. All of those things are things of what you make it. Those are signs that are showing up for you to connect with. But are the signs something that are truly connected for each and every one of you is what most of what you're wanting. So yes, every person that is out there does have different signs and symbols that show up for them. Now, whether they recognize them or not is something that can be very different. There's something that may not be as connected in with because of that. But that is okay. For all of these things that come through are really about each individual's being, if they are ready to embrace them or if they're not. And so for those people that say, I never receive a sign, well, are you open to receiving them? Are you in tune with them? Or are you the person saying, well, that just happens, or well, someone dropped the penny, I'm in front of a cash register, they dropped it putting it into their pocket. Don't try to come up with reasons for everything. Really allow it to come through. Allow it to shift inward and allow it for you to know that there are those things that are there. There are many ways in which the other side, whether it be your guides, your loved ones, or a consciousness, that work to connect with you. And it's even for your own benefit to have that connection. There is that tangibleness that your brain can connect with and say, yes, this is what this means, or this is how I need to lean into it. And so, even though there are those that will say, well, they're just there, they're just happening, if they have a meaning to you, that is what is important. And it's an allowance for your energy and the energy of the universe to give you a message or to give you a feeling, to allow for that to happen. And when you can lean into that and recognize that, you know that there are things that are happening. For instance, you may be a person that continues to see repeating numbers, and you go, when I see that, I know I'm in alignment and I'm going to keep on that path. And that is the path you have. Or you may say, if I don't see repeating numbers for, say, 2 days, I don't see them, you then go, okay, I'm misaligned. How do I realign to then begin seeing them again? All of these are just examples of what could possibly be, but it's about how do you find it? How do you connect in with it? And this is what I want each of you to work on. If you see a sign, this is great. You can continue that and to allow for those to come through. But if you don't, or you're unsure if you see a sign, it is truly about you being more aware of what happens every day. Are you someone that lives up in the clouds or lives up in your head? Or are you really present within each moment of your day? The presence that each of you have that really connects in and roots down into the earth will really show you if this is something that you truly needed and wanted or not. It will allow for you to recognize those things that are being put there. You may notice, my gosh, I continue to see a cardinal all the time. I see that. Does that have a meaning? Instead of you going, oh, well, yeah, there are a lot of cardinals around. There's a lot of birds around. You may notice on certain day there may be birds that are flying around you or they constantly circling your home or going past your home. It is about connecting in. So whatever that thing is when you have to go, does this mean something to me? And think about what was the last thing you were thinking about? What was the last thing you were doing? What is it that brought to your mind? Was there someone or something that came into your mind? All of those things will help you decipher, is this a sign or a symbol or is it not? And yes, it may be difficult at times for you to connect in with, is that truly what it was meant to be? But it is about having faith. For when you put the energy into this means this to me, you are telling the universe that this is what the energy of that is. And you may notice that it will shift a little bit then, that may change. But it is about you having faith in what you see and trusting in what it means to you. And that is about you connecting in with where it is. And know that it's just about giving you that reassurance that yes, you're on the right path, someone is near, or you're going where you need to go. And so all of these things really allow for you to have this reconfirmation of where you are. And so don't be afraid of where these signs are, how they're coming in, how they're shifting, how they're realigning with where you are. But instead have trust in yourself. And when you see that, say thank you. When you see the flock of birds, when you see the penny, when you can smell the scent of a cologne that only your grandfather wore, just say thank you for that. I know you are near. And that will just allow for you to feel their love and that energy around you. Now, when you look at those and you think of then synchronicities, so people will say that, oh, there are things that are just a coincidence. Well, we always say there are no coincidences in life, only synchronicities. That happened because of another reaction, or the universe put that in front of you for you to reconnect with it, you to really lean into that and have this sense of where you were going and how you were bringing things through. And so those synchronicities that are there are when you have to say, yes, there is something that is coming in, there is something that is happening. And so you say, oh, I ran into this person I hadn't seen since I was a child. And you go, wow, that is wonderful. I was able to connect in with them. I was just thinking about my childhood the day before. So you were putting that out there to the universe and then it was bringing it through. So just connect in all of those things and know that when things are put in front of you, it is truly about, do you want to really lean into that and connect with that and understand what that message is? Or are you just going to go, oh, well, that is life and things just happen? Because yes, there are times when things are just there. They're in your reality, but they are not about changing your reality. Say, for instance, you cross another person at the store. Well, yes, you were both in each other's reality, but it didn't have an impact on your reality. So you can say that yes, it was there, but you don't have to overanalyze every single thing. It is about when you can get to that point of sitting with the energy of what's coming through and what is that emotion that comes through? What does that make you feel? Where is that? And that is how you know you can start to allow for your intuition to speak through to you. And as all of that shifts in and as all of that comes in and comes together, it will really allow for you to have a sense of, yes, this is where I am, and this is what is moving forward with me on this path. And so don't worry if you say, well, it's taking me a while. Have faith in yourself. Trust in yourself. Really allow for yourself to lean into these things and to say, what is it that I'd like to know? And as you can recognize signs and symbols, when you can get to a point where you ask your guides or the universe or your higher self with a question, you ask them a question. When you can get to a point then where they will show you a sign or a symbol that will give you the answer, because you will be connected in with what signs and symbols are. It will really allow for you to know that what comes through. And you may know, gosh, every time I see a duck, I feel abundant. And you think, that is what that meaning is to me. Now, to someone else, a duck might mean that it's time to go to water. It's time to refresh. It's time to connect in. So make up what these meanings are for each of you. You can decide what it is, but you will come to find that you will have that connection to those things. And that is what will be shown to you or what will be brought to you when you are looking for this, when you are connecting in with who and what you are. And so have a little trust and faith in yourself and know that this can take some time. That there are many times where it takes that sense of, yes, I'm shifting in. Yes, I know what this means. And your mind will get in the way. Your mind is there very analytical. It is there to protect you. It's there to create stories that make sense to you. But allow for the mind and the soul to work together. Allow for each of those to understand what is coming through and for the soul to give that message of what it is. Now, this is not to say that you will go around every day and seeing everything as a sign, as we mentioned this before. But is it about at those key moments when you really need to know something, you really need confirmation on something, that you can connect in with yourself, you can connect in with your soul to get the answer that is there and what that is telling you and what that is coming through. And then it is up to you to feel that energy of, yes, my loved one is with me, or I'm on the right path, or maybe I'm not on the right path, whatever it may be, to really allow for you to shift into your next steps. So the key with this is life is about embracing. It is about embracing the human side of things. It's about letting yourself really lean in and experience what Earth provides, what the body can do, the beauty that surrounds you within the Earth, and all of the landscapes and mountains and trees and lakes and rivers and oceans that are there for you. And so know that they are all telling you something. They're all giving you a message. It's all leaning in. And so know that when those things come up, you can have a sense of where you are going, and that this is only going to allow you to become more centered and aligned with yourself, to be able to have this connection to your universal energy, to source, to your higher self, to continue to reconnect in. And when you are truly aligned and you are listening to what is around you and seeing what is around you, your life will continue to project you down the path you are meant to walk, or it will help guide you onto that path where you feel the vibrancy of life, where you feel an alignment, and you begin to become ready for whatever life has to bring forward for you. I want to thank everyone who provided this topic for us this week to really connect in with signs, symbols, and synchronicities. I hope that this gave you more of an idea of how the Druids view these and how you can use them in your everyday life as you really lean into the human side and to the joys of life. If you have other questions or if topics are coming up to you that you would like me to channel on, I would ask for you to subscribe to the newsletter and then just reply to that welcome email or any other email that comes from me. If you are not a subscriber to our newsletter, I invite you to do so. So you can also send in your questions and topics that we will be able to hopefully channel for at some point in time. As many of them I have noticed have recurring themes. There's very similarities. So I feel like that is a sign to me that this is what needs to come through, or this is what the energy is that is connecting to you. So please please go ahead to thechannelsource.com, subscribe to our newsletter so that you can continue to get links to these videos and also send in your questions. And for all of those that are already part of our community, I want to thank you for being a part of it and welcome all of those new members that are coming in.